it's Melissa with Investment Yoga. Today we are going to do a strength and strengthening series. So we'll get you warmed up and stretch and move those muscles and get you energized. Today all I need from you is the mat. If you would like to grab a couple blocks or books or anything that's sturdy, and then possibly a strap, which can be a belt or a tie or a dog's leash. We can enhance some of our stretching and poses that way, but they're not required. So I need you to go get your comfy clothes on, get your mat, maybe turn some soft music on or whatever will energize you, and meet me back here. We'll begin today in fire toes pose. So if you've never done this before, come to your knees. You can come from your tabletop if you'd like. Tuck the toes under and then begin to sit back towards the feet, towards the heel. And come up slowly if you've never done this before or it's been a while. And sit on the toes. This is a fantastic stretch for your feet. It's easy. You can do it whenever. I became addicted to it after my favorite yoga teacher, Nicole, showed us this a couple years ago. So fire toes, but come up. Let's tap those feet out. I know this is a intense pose. And then let's tuck those toes under, and again, send yourself back gently. And while we're here, I want us to open up the shoulders. So take your arms out wide. And you can come out of the fire toes and just come back if that's too intense. And feel free to join us back whenever you feel ready. But have those arms out. Take your right arm under your left, like you're going to give yourself a big hug. And this might be enough for your shoulders today. Or we can do eagle pose. So if you bring your arms up, hands come palms together. And when you get to that position, bring your elbows up. These are eagle arms. It stretches through the shoulders. Feel those peel apart, giving yourself a nice stretch, which we all need as we're hunching over all the time. Don't hold your breath here. Let's come out of that softly. Come out of the fire toes pose if you haven't already. And you can come back into the fire toes pose, and let's do eagle arms on the other side. So arms out. Take your right arm under your left. Bring up your hands together or hug yourself. So opposite arm from what you did before. You can sit back on those toes. You can give yourself a hug, peeling those shoulders apart, or you can bring those shoulders up towards your chin. Lengthening your neck, chin down just a little bit. And breathe. Imagining those arms are just being pulled apart, strengthening and stretching those arms. And let's come out. Nice job. I know those are two really tough ones right in the beginning. Give yourself some shoulder rolls. Give yourself whatever you want right now. And let's do a little work on our neck. So from a seated position, you can be on your knees, you can come to comfy seated position, or you can grab a block and set it under your tush for a little bit easier on your knees. But however you would like to sit now. And let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and release. And let's shrug them up and release. Nice. And then just do a couple circles back. Keeping your navel pulled in towards your spine, strong core. And then begin to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. But in order to avoid bringing your shoulder up, take your hand and place it on the top of the shoulder and bring your ear that way. And back to center, lengthening through the crown of the head, sitting tall, And let's bring our head to the other side, getting a nice stretch into the right part of the neck. Bringing yourself back to center. Let's look up. Maybe open your jaw and down. You can bring your head side to side, always being extra cautious when you're doing anything with your neck. Lots of people have tenderness. Look up one more time. And down. And let's just roll those out again. Let's come to seated position. I'm going to remove my block. You don't need to. And bring your feet out straight in front of you. Reach your arms up tall. And then bring your right arm down to the mat and begin to lean over, looking towards the ceiling as if you're a dancer, opening up that rib cage towards the sky. Breathe in and out. Just bring yourself back up, tall, lengthen through the spine. Bring your left hand down and your right arm over. Again, trying to spin that rib cage open, stretching in the side body. Come back up through center. And we will forward fold. Now here is a place where you can use your fancy strap, belt or tie. You can bring it around your toes. And you can use that to pull and get a little bit more length and stretching in your shoulders, especially if you can't reach the toes quite, or if you just want to use this as a pull your shoulders out. This is like very much like a gorilla pose, and you're pulling and stretching through the shoulders here. And let's release that. And let's just do a forward fold there. Inhale up and then bring yourself flat back towards your feet. Now, feel free to bend those knees as you bend over. Just getting a nice long spine. And back up. And bring your hands down. Bring yourself up to a seated or a tabletop position. Your knees are underneath your hips. Hands are underneath shoulders. From tabletop position, let's go into child's pose. So bring your knees to the outside edges of the mat. Send your hips back. Your arms forward. Head resting down on the mat if that's available. And begin to breathe here. Let's let out a couple sighs. We want to let out any stale air. And begin to breathe more intentionally. Calming things down. And if it's available, begin to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. In through your nose and out through your nose. Child's pose is a resting pose. It's our home base. It's wherever we come back to when we know we need to just take a moment to get our breath back. The breath is the most important thing in yoga. When you breathe intentionally, you can bring yourself into the present moment. And this time on the mat is for you. This is your moment. This is your time. Also, breathing in and out of your nose also helps more move the body quicker, and it helps us with the pliability of our muscles and just helps overall stretching. One last time in and out. Bring yourself back to that tabletop position. Rooting into the hands. Pressing the floor away. Pulling the navel in towards the spine. Strong core. Feet are on the mat. And we'll go into cat and cow series. So on an inhale, bring your gaze to the sky, dropping your belly down, scooping your sit bones towards the sky. And on an exhale, press that floor away, stretching through the shoulders, curving the spine up towards the ceiling like an angry cat. And on an inhale, cow, dropping that belly towards the mat, making space in the belly. Exhale, cat, pressing the floor away, tilting the pelvis under, and inhale to cow. Now go through this at your own pace and give yourself some extra movements, whatever your body needs or likes. I like to move side to side. I get a little stretch in that side of my glute. I also like to do some circles, but whatever feels good for you at your own pace. When ready, meet me into that neutral spine tabletop position. Hands are spread out wide. Back is neutral. Lengthening the neck. Chin comes a little bit in, pulling the crown of the head towards the front of the space. Let's tuck our toes under and do half dog. So you're only going to come up a little bit, hovering your knees above the mat. Your navel is coming in towards your spine. Strong legs, strong arms. Breathing and set yourself down. You can tap the toes if you'd like. Give yourself any movement. And let's do that again, tucking the toes, bringing yourself up. Strong core, pressing through the arms. If you're shaking a little bit, that's okay. We're just starting. And bring yourself back down, tap those feet. Neutralize the spine, cat-cow. Tuck the toes under and we'll do our first downward facing dog of the day. Toes are under, hands are spread wide, pressing your tush towards the ceiling, making an inverted V shape with your body. Now take a moment and focus on your head. Your head is like a bowling ball we're carrying around all day. So focus right now on making sure you're letting your head fall to gravity, lengthening the neck, lengthening the lower back. You can pedal out the feet, but soften the jaw. Remove the tongue from the top of the mouth. And continue to breathe in and out your nose. Giving yourself anything else you may need for this first dog. And then meet me in some stillness. One more breath. On an exhale, look to the top of your mat. Step forward towards your hands. Release your arms down, reaching for opposite elbows, giving yourself a nice generous bend in the knee for ragdoll or forward fold. And again, feeling your neck fall to gravity, giving in, surrender to the floor.
Let your body decompress, bringing some extra blood flow to the head, which will invigorate you, but yet it calms. And over a long inhalation, begin to peel yourself up one vertebrae at a time and meet me up in standing mountain. Your head should come last. Slow.
And bring your arms up overhead for extended mountain. Pressing your palms together, bringing them down to heart center. And this is the part of the practice where I like us to set an intention for today. And might I offer an intention, if you don't have one, of I will be present. I want you to be present through this practice and realize this is for you. This is your time to make space, physical and mental space for yourself. If you have another intention, that is awesome too. But just soak in that intention for just a moment. Inhale, release the hands, bring them up like you're a standing rod of energy. And swan dive down, forward fold, releasing the head. Halfway lift, back is flat, forward fold. Bringing yourself up to that mountain one more time. Reaching high, bring yourself down through center, hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. So take a moment to focus in on your plank pose. Your body is straight, your navel is pulled in, your neck is neutral. Hands are pushing the mat away. You can always do plank from down here on your knees. Just try to bring your arms forward so you're getting a little bit more exercise as opposed to like this in your core. Strong plank here. Now let's go let ourselves all the way down, slow to the floor. Let the tops of the feet come to the mat. Hands are alongside you. We'll go into cobra pose. Bring yourself up. Hands are alongside. They can help you push up, getting a small back bend. Lengthening the neck, keeping it looking towards the floor. Release yourself down. Take a moment. Let's do that again, cobra. Cobra will always be an option when you do your flows with me. And come down. Tuck the toes under, hands alongside you. Come up through tabletop into downward dog. Walk those heels out. Maybe step them out a little bit further than you normally do to the sides of the mat. Give yourself a couple calf raises here. And pressing into the arms, releasing the head. Maybe shaking your tail. Just making a little extra space each time we do this pose. On an inhale, look to the top of your mat. Jump or step forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bring yourself up through mountain. Reaching high. Maybe do a back bend on the top. Come back down. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step back. Get that plank position. Now you can go through chaturanga or go all the way down to your cobra. So chaturanga is high to low plank. Pushing through. Toes are under. Legs are off the mat. Chest is towards the wall. Opening up the shoulders. And press back. Meet me in downward facing dog. Nice work. Pedal out those feet. We're going to do that again. Look to the top of your mat. Jump or step forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Lengthen the neck. Forward fold up to mountain. Swan dive back down. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, go through your journey, whether that's through cobra or through up dog. So high to low plank, pushing through, feeling that stretch in the front body. Meet me in down dog. Good. Connecting to that breath. Doing a couple more calf raises here. Sending those thigh bones to the back of the room. Sending the seat bones into the sky. On your next inhale, look to the top of your mat, jump or step forward. Forward fold. We're going to start sun salutation B here. Bring yourself up through mountain. Strong core. And sit back into chair pose. So your seat comes back, look down, make sure you can see your toes. Maybe bring them up so you know you can see them. Arms are up overhead towards the corner of the room or at heart center. This is a very hard pose. Do one more breath here and release to forward fold. Halfway lift, plant the hands, step back, go through your flow, high to low plank or through cobra. Inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. All right, notice how you may feel a little bit different here, a little looser. Connecting with that breath. On an inhale, bring your right leg into the sky with core strength and control. Step it forward. Bring yourself up to warrior one. So your back foot is planted at 45 degrees. Hands are towards the corner, where the corner and the ceiling meet. Right leg is bent. Back leg is strong, pressing into both feet. Your hips are turned slightly towards the front. They don't have to be forced. And feel the pose, warrior one. Next, we're going to open to warrior two. Foot's going to come to 90 degrees. Arms are overhead, reaching towards the opposite sides of the room. And front leg is bent. Extended side angles next. Bring your right arm to the right thigh. Left arm reaches over, spiraling open the chest. Reverse warrior is next. On a long inhalation, bring your body back, hand down your left leg, right arm over, opening up the front body, breathing. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat, step back, go through your flow, your journey, high to low plank, or through cobra. And everyone meet me when ready in down dog. Nice. On an inhale, bring your left leg into the sky. Same thing. Step it through with core strength and control. Plant that back foot at about 45. Bring yourself up. Strong core, strong torso. Hands are towards the opposite ceiling. Warrior one. We'll open up to warrior two. Pressing into both legs. Your knee comes towards your pinky toe. Just being aware it doesn't cave in on you. Pressing firmly into the back leg like you're ripping the mat apart with your legs. Arms are reaching towards the opposite sides of the room. Your gaze is over that front middle finger. Extended side angle poses next. Bring your left arm to your left thigh. Your right arm comes overhead, spiraling open that chest, looking towards that hand if that's available. And over a long inhalation, bring that right hand up, reversing your warrior, bringing it down your back leg. Left arm goes over. You can take a bind here if you'd like to take that right arm, bring it around to your left thigh. Just making sure that you can still connect with the breath. If not, it takes a lot of maturity to back off. And bring your hands down to the mat. go through your flow. High to low plank. I challenge you to bring one leg up if you'd like. One leg chaturanga. And meet me in down dog. This is your practice. I'm just your guide. So do whatever feels good to you. If you need a little bit more in a pose or a little bit less, I won't be offended. Nice job. Look to the top of your mat. Step forward. Forward fold. Bring yourself up to that mountain. Feeling a little bit extra length through the crown of the head. Bringing the hands together. Gazing up and just reminding yourself of that intention you set earlier. Maybe I will be present. And bring your hands down to the side. Bringing your arms up, stretching everything towards the ceiling. And swan dive down. Step back into that strong plank position. We're gonna do a little core here. So let's do some plank step out. So your body is strong. Feet are pressing back towards the space in the back of you. Arms are pushing into the mat. And we'll step out. One, bend your left foot. Right foot, left foot. Right foot, left foot. Keep going. That core is tight. Make sure you're not coming up. If it feels too easy, bring your pelvis towards the mat. Keep going. Good job. Keep breathing. Nice. All right, put your knees down to the mat. Let's bring ourselves back to that child's pose position. We'll make this a little bit more active. Bringing the knees out a little bit wider, getting a little bit more stretch in the thighs. Take your hands, if available, putting them together and bring them over your head. Kind of a prayer position. You can feel the stretch in the shoulders, in the armpits. It's just a nice stretch. Breathe. Bringing yourself back up to tabletop position. Bring yourself back up to plank pose. Now we're going to bring our knee towards our right elbow. Then do your left. Try to maintain stability in your core as you go side to side, as you're getting some oblique work done here. Try not to fall into one side. Using that core strength and control to bring it to the outside. 2 more on each side. Nice. 1 more. And from here, bring yourself all the way down. You can rest one cheek on the mat right now if you'd like. What we're gonna do is set up. We're gonna first do some cobras like we did earlier, and then locusts. So cobra, your hands are alongside you. You peel your body up. You can press with your hands a little bit. Gaze is forward towards the front of your space. Try not to look up. Pressing into the feet. Core is strong. And bring it down. Rest your chin or cheek on the mat. Bringing your chin back to center. Hands alongside you. Do the same thing this time, or as you bring yourself up, pushing into your feet, raise your hands a little bit. And again, remember, looking forward. Breathing. And come back down. Bring your feet up and let's do some windshield wipers. Back and forth. Just opening up that lower back if you created any compression there.
Bringing yourself back to center of the mat. This time, let's bring our body up and our feet if that's possible. Pulling our thighs together, lifting our shoulders off the mat, hands are off the mat if possible. Breathe and down. You can have your hands in front of you. Sometimes these are called Superman. Let's do that one more time. On an inhale, bring yourself up. Stretching towards the front, continuing to breathe. Staying present, how strong you are. And back down. Nice. Rest your face on the mat. Give yourself a couple more windshield wipers. And we'll do bow pose since we're in this position. So if you'd like to grab your strap, depending on how flexible you are, the strap can be helpful. If you've ever had knee injury or this hurts in any way as you start to do this, don't do it. Our bodies are all different. All of us have different poses that are not just fit for us, and that's okay. We're all different shapes and sizes. Bow pose is not one of my favorite poses, but it is an important pose. So bring yourself back to where you were, chin on the mat. Bring your heels up towards your body. Your hands will come alongside you. And on an inhale, begin to bring your body up and reach towards those feet. If you've done bow pose before, go into whatever bow pose you do and whatever feels good. Feeling the strength in your legs, arms reaching back. And now you'd be able to tell if that would be hurting your knees. Bringing yourself back down. Give yourself a little move. And let's do that again. And so if you're really far from your feet and you do want to try this and get a little bit more stretch in your upper body, you can put your hand, your strap around your feet, being cautious, of course. And on an inhale, begin to bring yourself up, bringing your legs, and then you can kind of pull them towards you. But again, if this hurts, don't do it. This is plenty for a lot of people, including myself. And nice job. Bring yourself down. Like I said, the straps are always optional, and we usually can always figure out a way to do the poses without them. They just sometimes are helpful to help us get into a pose that is a little bit deeper or a little bit better for our body. All right. Bring yourself back up to tabletop position. Let's neutralize that spine with some cat-cows, and you'll notice how your spine feels much different with these. So on an inhale, send your gaze to the sky, seat bones high, belly towards the mat. Exhale, rounding that back, giving yourself any movement. May have created some compression there. And go through these at your own pace. Strong core, maybe doing a sassy pose, looking at one side and the other. I like this pose because no one's watching except you guys. And then just neutralize the back from here. Come into some stillness. Find your breath. And then bring yourself into a seated position. Your feet out straight. We're going to do a forward fold from here. So reaching your arms up and overhead. Leaning forward. Here is a good time where you could use your strap again like earlier to pull the shoulders. Get more stretch and space in those shoulders. Or if you're extra flexible and you need a little bit further movement, you can take your blocks, put them out, and reach towards them to pull. Again, everyone is flexible in different areas or not. We all have different bodies, and I want to create an environment that is good for everyone. So do what makes you and leave everything else.
Bringing yourself up. Then let's come back and place your hands behind your knees and begin to roll back slowly, creating a C shape with your body. We're gonna do boat pose next. So from here, think about tightening the abs in a way where you're pulling the navel towards the spine. So bring yourself back up slowly. Did you feel the core engaged? And from here, let's sit back a little bit. And we're gonna do boat pose. So you can stay here. You can extend the legs up, arms here, or arms here. And I need you to breathe with me. Let out a sigh, hold. And let's come to low boat and let's hold this. Again, focusing in on that navel, pulling it in, pulling your legs together, your thighs are pulling towards each other. Everything up the midline is tight. Let's come up again. I'm shaking, it's okay to shake. Exhale, come down to low. One more time up. And down. Nice. So scoot yourselves forward and we're gonna do supine butterfly. So bring the bottoms of your feet together, and if your feet are normally in like this when you do supine, bring them out a little bit and sit back again using that scoop C shape, slowly feeling it as you come down. And here we'll rest. We'll find our breath and we will breathe into any discomfort we may have in those hips. Send some breath there. We hold tons of emotion and tons of tenseness in our thighs and in our hips. And this is just an easy, inactive pose that we can do at any time. It's a good pose to do right before bed, just opening up the hips. Continuing to breathe. Couple more breaths. And bring your legs up together and begin to sit forward, coming into a seated position. I'd like you to, if this is available, bring your right foot up on your knee, your left foot's on the mat, and there's likely going to be some space between your foot and that leg. But sit up straight here. You can take a block and put it in between. Sit up straight and feel the stretch that you may have right here in your right hip. And breathe into it. One more breath. You can remove that block and let's switch. And one side is likely more flexible than the other. You see how on my side, I'm closer than I was over here. Take that block and still bring it over. And it's sort of an active resting pose because it's still stretching, but it's not overwhelming. And again, sit up tall. Feeling that stretch, If you need a little more stretch, you can lean forward. Bringing that black out and over, out of your way. And then bring yourself to a seated position. Legs come back. And I want us to do supine twist. And I'll show you a couple variations. One is the normal, bring your legs in. And on exhale, let the legs fall out to the right, bringing the left arm over and looking towards that left arm. Another option is to plant the right foot, take your strap, and you can bring it across your body, trying to stay towards the ceiling and looking towards your left hand. But you can give yourself a little bit more range of a stretch this way. And this is one I particularly like because I need a little bit more than that first one. Bring yourself up, and again, let's do the same, but going to the other way. So you can bring your knees in and then let them fall to the left, looking towards the right. Or you can plant that left leg down, take the strap on the foot and bring it over, looking towards that right. And then bringing it back, doing the same thing on the other side. You can let the legs fall over, or you can plant the right leg down, left leg down, and then strap goes around the right foot and then bring it over. And bringing it back up. Then let's set up for our last pose of the day. Stretch out on the mat, arms overhead or alongside your body. Take up as much room as you need. Hands perhaps on your stomach and your heart. You can place your hands down on the mat, or you can place them upward, asking the world, asking the universe to bring you some answers. And in our busy lives of running from here to there, send yourself some gratitude for making yourself present today, for being on the mat and spending this time with yourself. Every day is a day that you can get on the mat, and if you can't get on the mat, bring the mat with you. I invite you to take several minutes in Savasana. You can pause the video here, just turn me off. Allowing yourself to breathe naturally. Savasana is a part of the practice where we get to savor in everything that we just did. Just giving ourselves a little smile and a good job. If you're ready, begin to bring some awareness back into your hands and into your feet. Wiggling your fingers, maybe moving your hips side to side. And then come over into a sort of a fetal position. Head on your arm. Eyes are still closed.
letting out a sigh or two. Bringing yourself up slowly to a seated position, whatever comfortable position that may be for you. Bringing yourself into a tall spine. Bringing your arms up as you inhale. Bringing your hands back down. And we'll end our practice today with Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today and letting me be part of your day and your practice. Please hit the subscribe and like button and drop me a comment saying I am present. And just think about that the rest of the day and maybe the rest of the week. Otherwise, we will see you back at our next video next week. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.